Hello, Trent Jesse here. In this video, I'll be teaching you about a pretty cool plugin called TinyMCE. So this nifty little plugin helps you out with giving you additional functionality, buttons, and formatting buttons inside of your WordPress toolbar. So when you log into your WordPress admin or your dashboard area, just navigate down to the left-hand side underneath Plugins and click on Add New, and then click on Search. Alright, then once you click on search, just type in TinyMCE. So T-I-N-Y, M as in Mary, C as in cat, E as in elephant, and then click on search plugins. Once you do that, then it's either going to be up at the top or else a few down. You'll see that this one right here, TinyMCE Advanced, is the one that we want right there. Alright, so once you see that one, then click on install now. Just like I've already installed it, so you'll see this link that says install now, and then a pop-up box will say, are you sure that you want to install this plugin? Simply click on OK. And then it's going to, I'm installing a different plugin at this point, but just it's going to take you to a page that looks like this, and then you can activate the plugin. So I'm not going to activate this specific plugin, but the one that you want to install is the TinyMCE Advanced. And once you install and activate it, then you move your mouse over the settings on the left hand side, and you'll see this new section there that says TinyMCE Advanced. Alright, so now that you've installed and activated it, you'll see that there's 4 different rows of buttons that you can use that now you can include in your toolbar. So what I'll do right now is open up a new blog post and show you what we're doing here. So when you initially open up a blog post, you normally don't have all these buttons right here. You usually just have the first 2 lines right here. You have bold, italicize, and a bunch of other buttons right here that originally comes with WordPress, but you don't have all of these other formatting buttons down here below that normally comes with your install. So that's what the TinyMCE Advanced does, is it gives you these additional functionality buttons so you can format the size of your text. So if you were to type some text right here, then you could format this text using these buttons here. Okay, so I want this big. I'm going to choose a different font, Arial, and some styles. You can align center, or make it a bigger heading. So if you've ever heard of H1 or H2 or H3 tags, that's what a heading 1 is. Heading 1 is an H1 tag, and heading 2 is an H2 tag, and so forth. It goes all the way down to H6 or heading 6. Alright, so that's just a little bit of SEO talk right there for you, but that's part of your formatting tools. So how do you get the tool buttons to show right here? So what you could do is go back to the TinyMCE Advanced section right here underneath settings, and you'll see these 4 rows, and you can click on any of these available buttons down here and drag them up. So if I wanted to include the horizontal rule, I would simply click on it and hold it down and drag it up and position it right somewhere in one of these 4 rows. These are the available rows inside of the toolbar that you see. So 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Alright? So if you don't want to have a particular button in that position, you can always move it into a different location, or even up to a different level. Alright? So I don't want that particular button in my toolbar, so I'm just going to put it back. But once you're done positioning all of the buttons down there into the rows up above, then you can scroll down and click on Save Changes. Now you'll notice that I didn't include all of the buttons up here into the rows because some of them are not really that needed. I don't use them a lot, and so the buttons that I use a lot are the font size, the paragraph, the font styles, and this right here is the visual aid in adding tables to your site, which is really handy to have, and so I'd recommend adding those along with this anchor and you'll learn more about those tool buttons. You can just go to Google and type in what is an anchor and how do you add tables. But at least this will give you the functionality to tap into, to start to format the text and create tables, and you can highlight text, you can add smiley faces if you want, and a bunch of other formatting tools. All right. So yeah, once again, just scroll down and click on Save Changes, and then you're ready to rock and roll with this. And after you're done, from there on out, anytime you add a new blog post or a new page, you're automatically going to see the 4 rows, if you have 4 rows that is, of the buttons that you create. Now, just a few words of caution or a few tips is that when you add your buttons to the rows, you want to make sure that you don't add too many buttons to the right, or else it's going to bleed over to when you go into a blog post, it's going to come straight over here and bleed over into your the right margin of your blog post or page. And so it's just important to structure your buttons so it looks nice and it doesn't get out of whack. And that concludes this tutorial.